Chris here, and I'm actually shooting this video in the Dominican Republic, where it's actually my first time I've actually been in the Caribbean, and we've been here for the past 7 nights. We leave back to Miami tomorrow, but the point of me actually shooting this video is just to update people on what the past week's actually been like, so you can get a really good look into our lifestyle and the way we actually run our business. But you know, I want to reflect on the very first 5 days, because the reason we came here was to mastermind with our company, the Digital Experts Academy. And you know, we actually had to step up our leadership this time, because we were a part of the leadership team actually coaching people on how to identify your good habits, bad habits, and how to turn your bad habits into good habits. And you know, it was more than just teaching people about habits. We literally saw people transform right before our eyes. You know, people were discovering what their purpose was, what their whys are, where their values lie. So that was the biggest eye-opener for me, was just seeing the kind of value that this one, when I was actually still back in Perth, where I was feeling a little bit down and I wasn't as excited for my business. And I guess the reason is because, you know, we just live our life very comfortably. We click a couple buttons on the computer, do a little bit of marketing, you know, shoot a couple of videos, work on our business around 1 to 2 hours per day, and it wasn't so fulfilling. But the most fulfilling thing about the event was actually seeing the kind of impact that we do have on other people's lives, because I do believe that you get paid exactly what your value is to society, and if you're able to leverage the internet and make a bigger impact, you're going to get paid more. And I saw hands down that we actually are making a massive impact on other people's lives, because I was the most excited 3 years ago when I first came into this industry. And just like everyone else, you know, who are coming into it for the first time, most of the time I'm looking at other people's financial results. I'm feeling that little bit responsible, but you know, I've let that go now. You know, I can't take responsibility for everyone, and I know that they got tremendous value. You know, so they were all expressing their gratitude, and I was just humbled by actually being at this event. You know, it was an all-inclusive resort, so oh man, I gymmed once actually. I gymmed once, but I haven't touched a vegetable. I've drank lots of alcohol, getting a little bit skinny fat, but you know what? Embrace it, live your life. I'm not going to beat myself up like I have in the past. So that's another good thing about these events, is they're all inclusive. It can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. At the moment, we're just at an Airbnb on the beach, beautiful place on the beach, but it was just way too windy, so I thought I'd come here and shoot my video. Another thing I wanted to mention as well is just be grateful for what you've actually got. You know, sometimes I don't practice gratitude. You know, sometimes I'll be frustrated when, if you just practice gratitude, it really does solve everything, and it puts you in a happy space again. Because the one thing that actually hit me on this event, in this whole trip, is when we were doing a nice little tour by a guy at the hotel, and he was talking about incomes. If you're a local, how much income you actually make. And I think it's a second world country. I don't think it's a third world country. I'm not 100% sure, but if you can land yourself a good job in a hotel, you only get paid $325 US a month. And I'm thinking to myself, how do these guys even live on this? But at the end of the day, do you see them angry and acting like, man, I've got to go to a job? No, they're grateful that they've actually got a job, and they're always happy. So if you just live in a happy, positive space, stop chasing the money, practice gratitude, you're going to live a lot more fulfilled life. So that was another takeaway, just seeing how happy the locals are and how grateful for everything that they've actually got. So when my emails don't go out, or I fuck up a video, all these little first world problems, is just like, I shouldn't be getting angry at that. Neither should you, especially if you're living in a first world country. You do have a steady income, you do have a good job. Practice gratitude, be grateful for what you've got, and you will live a happy, fulfilled life. So that's just an update from me in the Dominican. We're going to go to Miami tomorrow, and I'll be shooting a lot more videos, updating you guys, flying the drone, and just giving you a really good insight in what it's actually like to live a digital lifestyle. You know, you don't have to travel and do all the things that we do, but you totally have the ability to live life with purpose and live life the way you want to do it. You know, we've done it, and we're empowering other people to do the same, to change the world, make a bigger impact. So thanks for checking out this video, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.